Hey guys, welcome back to Halftime. Many of you remember Soccer Fanatics back in the day on TLN. Given that this is one of the most exciting seasons yet, and there's not really anyone to argue with about Serie when you're just watching the game at home, we are providing the biggest platform possible for Serie superfans to debate controversial topics and defend their teams. During the biggest matchups of the year, we will be featuring two soccer fanatics during halftime. And of course, you're more than welcome to join the debate online using the hashtag tln.soccer or tweeting us at tln.tv. The Inter-Lazio rivalry has historically been more of a friendship, but today's game has a lot at stake. If Lazio wins, they're back in the Scudetto race. If Inter wins, they become the frontrunners for the season. So let's meet today's soccer fanatics.
Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. TLN, my dad would be watching. And I remember walking down and say, Dad, who are we cheering for? And if Inter wasn't playing, he would say, nah, it doesn't matter.
I actually tweeted all Inter. Call me Immobile lover.
All right, let's start off with the first topic. Is it better to be a little cheap, a little budget friendly when it comes to your team? Or would you rather spend almost 30 million euros on a guy like Eriksen just to keep him on the bench for most of the season?
It's okay to spend the 30 million if you don't have a coach like Conte who's too stubborn to work the player into the team. For a player of Eriksen's quality, I mean, pre-pandemic, it looked like a steal. Now it looked like we got robbed, but I think give it some more time, we'll see how it turned out.
And Jerry, your team is pretty financially stingy.
The owner of Lazio is very cheap. We all know that, and he likes to keep his pockets pretty tight-nipped. So I'm used to being on the side of being cheap. I would rather just not even spend the 30 million if you're gonna let him rot on the bench. There's no point. You better off buying somebody for that money that you know you're gonna be using every day.
Okay, now Leo, you did mention to me that Inzaghi annoyed you a little bit, and I guess a lot of people could probably say the same thing about Conte. So between the two of them, who is the bigger crybaby?
I mean, Jerry touched on it already. Conte is the most stubborn guy in Serie A, in Italian football, period. I mean, Inzaghi's no better, but they're both, I mean, you asked me this question and my first reaction instantly is both. They drive me nuts.
He's right. Conte is, every game, it's the referee. And Bonucci went on the record today saying you have to respect the referee.
Okay,
and I kind of laughed at that.
When Bonucci says respect the referee, that's
I kind of laughed at that. Bonucci's a chooch. I think he's the biggest chooch, personally, in Serie A. Like, he's terrible. He should have retired 2 years ago.
And Jerry, I want to talk to you a little bit about Strakosha because he has been in the news recently saying that he would possibly be interested and consider a move to a team like Dortmund. He has been reliable and consistent for Lazio in the last few years, so what do you think about this?
Leave. Straight up, leave. Hold on. He had COVID. He has to understand he had COVID, and he had, I believe, 2 injuries this season. You haven't been able to play because you haven't been in form. When you have been in form, you've been poor. And I know that he hasn't been able to play consistently. But all of a sudden, he's second fiddle, and he doesn't like that. So he's putting himself before the team. That's what I'm seeing right now.
We'll take him at Inter. We don't want Handanovic anymore. We'll take him at Inter.
Okay, now everyone else at home already knows what the halftime score is, but since we filmed this a couple of days in advance, you guys don't have any idea. So let's make some predictions. Jerry, what is the current score at halftime?
I'm going to go 1-1.
Okay, Leo, what about you?
I like Jerry's prediction. 1-1 sounds about right. I'm going to do the easy prediction. Lukaku goal, Immobile goal at halftime.
Okay, I feel like this part isn't going to be too hard because neither of you have been too ruthless, but since this weekend is Valentine's Day, we have to get you guys to show some love to one another, say something nice. Leo, let's start with you. What is something nice you can say about Lazio?
I wish the best for Ciro Immobile, Jerry. I follow you on Twitter, Jerry. I know you're an Immobile fan. I pray for him every day that he can do it outside of Italy so that he can do it in an Italy jersey this summer. So, Forza Ciro. That's for you, Jerry. Not this weekend, though. After this weekend.
Leo, we're in the middle of halftime, and you said Forza Ciro. What do you think the Inter fans are going to think?
It's halftime. I'm sorry.
Okay, Jerry, say something nice about Inter.
I like Antonio Conte's wig. I find that Inter fans kind of understand between like when their team is bad and when their team is good. Whereas Milan fans, once they win, it could be 2-game winning streak and they think they're the best team in the league.
It was a little more than 2 games.
Okay, fine. They were on a 25 game unbeaten streak, and they acted like they won a Scudetto. You haven't won nothing. Okay, you won the winter Scudetto, whatever you want to call it. Like, calm down. And then they go, "Oh, we have 7 Champions Leagues or 6. We got the most Champions Leagues." I don't give a crap, man. It's about what can you do for me now, not what you did 20 years ago for me. That's the type of business it is. I love to hear what Leo thinks.
Leo, it feels like he hates Milan more than you do.
I was about to say, Jared, you can take my jersey. Go ahead. You can take my part. That's okay. I'm on board.